All right, what's good, man? Let's get into it. So let's talk about my New York Football Giants, man. So there's a lot of things going out there about the New York Football Giants. Why do they suck so bad? Why are they so horrible? Why are they so trash? Why haven't we scored a touchdown at home yet? And why have we only scored 3 points at home? But you know what? I want to take a different approach on this. Did you guys expect anything? If you're not a Giants fan, or if you're a realistic Giants fan like me, did you expect anything different? Did you expect anything different? The New York Football Giants were set up for failure this year. And let me explain why. Number one, let's start from the bottom to the top. Number one, Saquon Now, I did videos on Saquon Barkley saying he's irrelevant, he's not important. But you know what? He might be more slightly important than he is. He might be more important than what I thought. Now, granted, do I think we would have beat the Niners, Dolphins, or maybe even Seattle with Saquon? I don't think so. Maybe Seattle, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. But listen, Saquon Barkley, there is a conspiracy out there that Saquon Barkley is faking his injury until he gets his money, that he doesn't want to be part of anywhere near this offense because he wants to prove that the offense is trash without me, Saquon, and that I'm worth more than what you were offering me last year. Which, you know what? From a business perspective, Saquon, I give you a round of applause. If Saquon's faking his injury, this is a brilliant idea. This is a brilliant idea. Get your money. But at the same time, we went into the season without re-signing our franchise running back. I know it's the year 2023, but we should have re-signed them. We should have re-signed them to the long-term deal because our offense is beyond horrible. And having Saquon out there will make us just slightly better. Let's move on. Brian Daboll. Listen, Brian. I like you, Brian. I think you're a good coach, Brian. But at the same time, for some reason, you're suffering from the Joe Judge, Pat Shermer, Ben McAdoo syndrome. You had one good year, bro. One good year. New York fans will turn on you like that. They will turn on you like that. Do I think we should fire you? No. But at the same time, Brian, get your bald head out your butt and honestly, do something, bro. Fire Kafka and get a real offensive coordinator if you're not going to call plays. Stop holding everybody accountable besides yourself. You're this offensive guru. You're the reason why Josh Allen was in MVP conversations, which, by the way, Josh Allen's doing way better than you are. And at the same time, Brian, why does this offense only have 3 points at home? We played 2 home games, have 3 points. 3. That is beyond horrible, and I blame you, Mr. Offensive Guru. Don't end up like Ben McAdoo, the offensive guru back in 2015 when we had Coughlin a head coach, got rid of him, and then we ended up getting rid of McAdoo 2 years ago. Just because you won head coach of the year last year doesn't mean anything. It's about upping your resume. And I'm sorry, this team had playoff expectations. Now we're looking like we're gonna get the first pick in the draft. Let's move on. Daniel Jones. Now listen, look. Everybody knows my thoughts on Daniel Jones. Everybody knows I didn't think he was good. I'm being proven my point this year. But at the same time, I'm not going to pile on DJ because a lot of other people are doing it. And I'm honestly I feel bad for DJ because his offensive line is beyond horrible and they're about to break his neck like Kurt Angle. But the only difference is Kurt Angle won medals. Daniel Jones is going to be flipping burgers next year. Listen, when it comes to Daniel Jones, listen, look. Giants fans and just the Giants organization, let this be a lesson. Just because you had a generic guy at quarterback for the last 20 years or the last 16 years with Eli Manning, he won 22 Super Bowls, doesn't mean anything. DJ might be generic. He might be Blair. He might be the most blandest guy ever. But at the same time, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. He can't do what Mahomes, Burrow, Rodgers, and all these other guys do. You need to put stuff around him. He's kind of in that Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins territory, which honestly, he's not even as good as those guys. And yes, I stand by what I said. Derek Carr is better than Daniel Jones. And I hate Derek Carr. I still hate Derek Carr. And I think Daniel Jones is way more cooler than Derek Carr, which is not saying much, but still. But Derek Carr is at least putting up numbers. And the Saints are not a world-beating team either. Like, the Saints haven't made the playoffs since Drew Brees' last year, which was in 2020. Giants literally just made the playoffs last year, and we can't score points? That is beyond embarrassing. Beyond embarrassing. And DJ, you took the money. I don't care. Listen, if Aaron Rodgers with a horrible line can put up points back in prime Aaron Rodgers with the Green Bay, you can too. Patrick Mahomes' offensive line. Kansas City Chiefs fans, if you watch this video, come in my comment section and say, your line is beyond horrible, but Mahomes puts up at least 20 a game. 20 a game. At the end of the day, when you get paid that money, you need to do something. Joe Burrow, even though he hasn't had the best season this year, the last few years, his offensive line has been beyond horrible. Went to a Super Bowl, went to an AFC Championship game. Get it done, DJ. Get it done. Well, I mean, you're about done now because you have a neck injury. Let's get to the two biggest culprits. Number one, Joe Schoen. There's a thought in my mind that Joe Schoen sabotaged this team. Honestly, I feel like Joe Schoen sabotaged this team on purpose because when you look at what Joe Schoen did throughout this whole offseason, what did he really do? He drafted Jalen Hyde. Okay, great. He's a third-round pick. He's a third-round pick who's not looking good. He traded for Darren Waller, who's a bum, who's just known for having 2 good years in the NFL and being hooked on cocaine with the Ravens. Didn't re-sign Saquon Barkley. We re-signed Andrew Thomas. Okay, great. I mean, it's not looking like anything now because since Andrew Thomas is out for a long period of time. What did Joe Schoen exactly do for the offense? He drafted the bust of Evan Neal, refuses to move him to guard. What has Joe Schoen done? Maybe Joe Schoen is pissed off, and maybe I don't blame him. Maybe Joe Schoen's pissed off that the person I'm about to mention next and the fan base, some of the fan base, wanted him to sign Daniel Jones, and Joe Schoen didn't want that because we all know GMs and head coaches want their quarterback, which leads me to the biggest culprit, John Longneck Mara. You clown, you klutz, you big four-headed idiot. When you have a chance to draft Patrick Mahomes, you go get Patrick Mahomes. When you have a quarterback in Daniel Jones who has one good year where he throws 15 touchdowns, 20 overall, you don't sign him to $140 million. I don't care if that's a discount now. At the same time, he shouldn't be signed to that. Maybe you should have gave him the 5th-year option or forced Joe Schoen to give him the 5th-year option. When you have a chance to go get Deshaun Watson, go get Deshaun Watson. I'm sorry, Deshaun Watson has a better record than the Giants. Deshaun Watson's put up more points against the Titans than Daniel Jones did throughout this whole season. You've been ruining this team for years. You held on to Eli for too long. You fire every GM, you fire every coach we got. And it wouldn't shock me if you fired Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll after this year. This dude is literally like a silent Jerry Jones. The only difference is Jerry Jones gets with the times. He knows offense is it. John Mara has this sick fantasy that, Kayvon's going to be next LT and we're going to run the ball with Saquon and have a generic guy like Daniel Jones lead us to the promised land like Eli and Phil Simms. Bro, that's not how 2023 works. You need a Mahomes and a Jalen Hurts. You need a Josh Allen and a Joe Burrow. You need a Justin Herbert, someone who can score points. And you need to do the most important thing, John Mara. Stay out the way. I don't care if Daniel Jones was in Eli Manning's camp. When people are telling you it's time to move off your quarterback, guess what? It's time to move off your quarterback. And when it's time to stay out of the way, John Mara, it's time to stay out of the way. Mark my words, come back to this video. John Mara will literally say something about the Giants and come out of, he said, this Giants season embarrassing, just like he did in 2017 and 2018 and 2019. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. So I said all that to say this. No one should be shocked. If you're a real Giants fan, if you're a football fan, if you're not a delusional Giants fan, you should not be shocked about what's going on now. This is what the Giants do. You have a teeny tiny bit of success. A la 2016. 2017, you make some bland moves like getting Brandon Marshall, a.k.a. getting Darren Waller, and you suck. I'm not shocked by this. I know Giants fans' hearts are broken now, but you know what, Giants fans? It is what it is. My suggestion is to look into the draft and see what's going to happen. I might make a draft video sooner than later because, I mean, we're not winning any games. But let me know your thoughts on this, man. What's your thoughts on my Giants take and the Giants team? RJ out.